Hugo Ekitike will serve a one-game ban after being sent off in Liverpool's 2-1 win over Everton, with Arne Slot forced to make a change up front for the Premier League clash versus Crystal Palace. Welcome to Liverpool Venture, your ultimate home for all things Reds. From breaking news, transfer updates, dramatic match reactions, and exclusive deep dives, we bring you closer than ever to the heartbeat of Anfield. If you breathe Liverpool, this is your place. Don't just watch from the sidelines, hit that subscribe button right now and join the fastest growing Liverpool family on YouTube. Turn on notifications so you'll never miss a moment of the drama, passion, and glory that makes Liverpool Football Club the greatest in the world. This is Liverpool Venture, and together we'll never walk alone. Hugo Ekitike has hit the ground running at Liverpool after his 79 mil from Eintracht Frankfurt this summer. The 23-year-old Frenchman made an immediate impact, scoring on his debut against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield last month. Ekitike has become the first Liverpool player to score in his first 3 games since Daniel Sturridge in 2013, boasting a commendable tally of 5 goals and an assist from just 8 appearances. Despite it being early in the season, he currently tops the Reds' scoring charts, with usual top scorer Mohamed Salah sitting in second place with 3 goals. His impressive form earned him his first cap for France earlier this month. His goal scoring comes amid Liverpool have recently signed Alexander Isak from Newcastle United in a record-breaking £125 million deal. Both forwards found the back of the net in midweek, with Isak scoring his first goal for the club against Southampton in the League Cup third round. He was then substituted at half-time for Ekitike as Liverpool carefully managed the Swede's playing time following a turbulent pre-season at Newcastle where he essentially went on strike to force a move, reports the Liverpool Venture. Ekitike netted a late winner for the Reds against Southampton. However, he was shown a red card for a second bookable offense after celebrating by removing his shirt. Arne Slot, Liverpool's head coach, later publicly criticized the forward, labeling his dismissal as both stupid and needless during his post-match press conference. As a result of his actions, Ekitike will now serve a one-game ban and will miss Liverpool's upcoming match against Palace. Having been a regular starter in all 5 of the Reds' Premier League matches this season, as well as last month's Community Shield against the Eagles at Wembley, his absence leaves Slot with a selection headache. Under normal circumstances, record-signing Isak would be the obvious choice to lead the line. However, having started against Southampton, and with Liverpool carefully managing his game time, it might not be that straightforward. It's unlikely that the forward will be ready to play a full 90 minutes. With that in mind, we examine the various options Slot could consider at Selhurst Park, as he ponders how to fill the void left by Ekitike. Alexander Isak. The most apparent choice, as previously mentioned, is to simply start Isak. He has made 4 appearances for club and country so far this season, and started against both Atletico Madrid and Southampton. After making his debut against the La Liga team and playing for 58 minutes, it was somewhat surprising to see him only play the first half against the Saints. He also made an 18-minute cameo for Sweden during the international break against Kosovo, and was subbed on for the last 23 minutes of the Merseyside derby. Isak hasn't started a Premier League match or played a full 90 minutes since the final day of last season, when his former team Newcastle suffered a 1-0 defeat at home to Everton. Slot recently confessed that he doesn't anticipate the forward returning to top form until after the October international break. He might give Isak his second start in 5 days, but this will entirely depend on his fitness levels. If he does start, don't expect him to play the full 90 minutes, and he's likely to be back on the bench for next week's match against Galatasaray. If Slot decides to rest Isak, he has other options. The prime candidate would be Federico Chiesa. The Italian was the standout player in Liverpool's match against Southampton, providing 2 assists. He began the game on the right, then moved to the number 10 position, and finally switched to the left after the Reds made substitutions. However, the majority of his playing time this season has been as a substitute striker in the Premier League. The 27-year-old netted a crucial goal against AFC Bournemouth on the season's opening day, and played a role in Rio Ngumoha's winning goal against Newcastle. He was also brought on as a striker against both Arsenal and Burnley, but was left out of the squad for matches against Atletico Madrid due to not being registered in Liverpool's Champions League squad, and Everton following Isak's signing. Chiesa's playing time was limited last season due to fitness issues after his initial £10 million transfer from Juventus. As a result, he has made 10 Premier League appearances so far, with 4 of them coming this season. His only start in the English top flight was away at Brighton last May, after the title had already been secured. Slot did commend Chiesa after his impressive performance against Southampton, and the player himself expressed his eagerness to contribute when speaking after the final whistle. Starting the Italian at Selhurst Park might be a bit of a gamble, but no more so than giving Isak the nod if he's not fully match fit. An unexpected option that Slot could consider, having avoided it throughout his tenure as Liverpool head coach, is Cody Gakpo. One of the first things the Dutchman did after arriving at Anfield was to return his compatriot to his preferred left-wing position. Jurgen Klopp has primarily utilized the forward as a central option since his signing from PSV Eindhoven in January 2023. However, Gakpo's preferred position, having excelled on the wing in his native Netherlands, is no secret. The 26-year-old has clocked up 135 appearances for the Reds so far, netting 42 goals and providing 16 assists. Interestingly, there isn't much difference between his scoring record when playing up front or on the left. Transfermarkt data reveals that he has scored 17 goals from 52 appearances as a Liverpool striker and 23 from 64 games on the left. The majority of those left-wing goals were scored under Slot last season, with Gakpo bagging an impressive 18 goals across all competitions. Despite Gakpo often featuring as a striker under Klopp, Slot has never started his fellow Dutchman in a central role. It would likely take a significant shift for the Liverpool head coach to change his stance now. Slot has occasionally fielded a Reds 11 without any recognized center forward, opting instead for a box midfield with two number 10s Dominik Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, most notably in last season's 2-0 victory away at Man City. In fact, his squad might be even better equipped for such a system now, following the £1,116 million signing of Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Competition for starting spots in the Liverpool midfield is intense, with Wirtz, Szoboszlai and Alexis Mac Allister all battling for two positions alongside Ryan Gravenberch. Slot hasn't really had to face such a predicament yet, due to injuries and suspension, with Gravenberch missing the first 2 games of the season and Mac Allister still recovering from a long-term injury. Similarly, forced absences at right back saw this dilemma avoided again when Slot played Szoboszlai in that position against Newcastle and Arsenal, while Wirtz was spared a start in last weekend's Merseyside derby as he continues to adjust to the physicality and intensity of English football. Against Palace, with Ekitike absent, the German is expected to return to the Liverpool starting 11, and with Slot previously confirming he could play as a false 9, though that was before signing Isak, the German could be recalled in an attacking position alongside Szoboszlai. However, a trip to Palace, facing their 5-man defense with Wirtz as a false 9 or 2 number 10s, is admittedly a different challenge than an away trip to Pep Guardiola's Man City. The wildcard option now is Jadon Danns. The 19-year-old made his first senior appearance of the season off the bench against Southampton in midweek, as he too steps up his recovery after a long-term injury. The young forward has already made 10 appearances for Liverpool, netting 3 goals, and has featured 3 times in the Premier League. However, it would be a daring move if Slot decides to give the youngster his first full league debut at this stage. With his dad Neil having spent 3.5 seasons playing for Palace, there would be a touch of nostalgia if Danns Jr. was given his first Premier League start at Selhurst Park. Instead, it's more likely that he might make an appearance in the matchday squad, especially if Slot needs additional attacking support in Ekitike's absence. But with several senior players expected to rejoin the squad after being rested against Southampton, such a need isn't necessarily a given. Thanks so much for watching, Reds family. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe to Liverpool Venture so you'll never miss the latest news, reactions, and everything Liverpool. Remember, here on Liverpool Venture, you'll never walk alone.